Hey, welcome back to Dutch Shed Builds. My name is Jerome. This is a episode on my charity build, this CX500. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a grass tracker. It's called the Iron Phantom at this moment, and I've done a lot of work on this bike. The goal is to sell this bike, and from the profit, that will go to the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. At this point of the video, the fundraising is over, so any money that I will make with this will go to next year, so 2027. Um, and that's the plan with the bike. I've done quite a lot and it's improved massively, but there's one major thing that I'm going to tackle in this video, and that is the seat. So I'm going to make a better seat and, well, basically the seat pan actually, and the top will be made by somebody else, and I'll tell you that later in the video. But for now, I'm going to mock up how I want the seat pan to be, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to use for that. So that's today's video. So the bike is looking really good, and the seat that I've made is actually working pretty good. There's one major drawback, and that is the side is completely uncovered, and that's where all the electrics are, the MotoGadget unit, um, and it's not waterproof, or any water can get straight in there. So as long as it doesn't rain, you're good, but this can't stay. So let me take off the seat and show you what I've got right now. And then I can take it off like that. So this is the seat I made, which is basically some wood I had, um, mounted these points on it. This is the quick release thingy. We're going to use that again, and had to cut out a piece because I swapped from the NWT system, which has the exits on the side, to the m.Unit, which has the exits on the top. So there was actually too little room for the wires to go, so I had to cut out a bit, which is going to be an important part of the new seat as well. And then I just used some foam for applications like this, and some basic sky leather type stuff. And yeah, that's what I used. It's actually working pretty good, but of course it doesn't look any good, and we kind of fumbled this together so I could get the bike to the show, which was a long time ago. But anyway, we're going to replace this and make something better. So of course this seat with the use of wood is actually pretty fine. You can use aluminium, which would be even better, but I found it pretty pricey actually. And of course I really need to get the shape covered up as well, and I've looked at a lot of options, but I think the stuff I'm going to use, which has been done many times before, I'm absolutely not the first guy to do this, it's going to be polyester and resin, and I think that's going to be the best way for the bike. I can actually get a nice curve on it and get some how would you call that, like levitation, to actually give this MotoGadget a bit of more room. I don't want to lower the MotoGadget because then it's going to be obstructing the air intake even more. It's already tricky at this point, so I really want to keep that up so the airflow can get underneath it. It's going to be over this part here, and then later on I'm going to use rivets to kind of get a thing that's going to click underneath here, so you can kind of squeeze it underneath there. That's the goal. And the tricky part is these stick out thingies. I'd love to keep the seat up here, but this is where the mounting points are, so I may run it back a bit. I'm not really sure I'm going to do that. Yeah, the best thing would be if I were to raise this a bit more, so I've got a really good point to support the bike thingy. So I might just raise this a bit. Maybe I should start with that.
We're gonna go to the hardware store.
So from this flat bar I recreated this bracket. I didn't like the first one. That one was too high, so I made the second one, and it's supposed to be tilted like that because one side of the bike is higher than the other. So this is gonna be replaced. See, this one right here. Yeah, that's better. It's gonna give more clearance to the wires, but not too much. So that's perfect. So I'm gonna swap this one out. All right, when fiddling with this bracket, I was able to make a new one. I had 2 or 3 options that I made. This one was the best. It really clears the cables of the MotoGadget well enough so they can actually flex a bit. The last thing I want to do is weld in an additional bracket. So this piece I made from the same flat bar, I'm going to put that here and kind of make it in line with the bike, but it's going to be an extra support, I think, which should cover this area, I hope. So I'm going to weld that in. Of course, the MotoGadget is completely loose from the battery, and the battery is disconnected. All right, so that's it. That's what I'm going to do, work with. I'm going to fill up this area with, I don't know, stuff.
Stuff, you know, stuff.
All in, what's it called? Cling film to protect it. And then I'm going to start with the polyester. But these 2 points will be a good base. And hopefully that's enough strength. I think I'm going to do an extra bit in here, like extra polyester to give it more strength, but it should be strong enough. All right, we're going to leave it like this. And speaking of polyester, let's have a look at that. So this is all the stuff I'm going to need. So you need some protection because this is really nasty stuff. Some brushes. And this is the fiber stuff I've got. So this is 160 grams. And this is 300 grams, so it's a lot thicker. So this is going to be really to give it strength, and we're going to combine these two, and they're both 1 square meters. I think that should be enough. I've got some syringes to measure the resin, especially the hardener. It's pretty strict, I believe. You're going to do it in grams, so I've got this scale here which I covered in plastic to protect it. This is the resin that I've got. This is 1 kilogram, and you need this hardener to work with it. I've mixed up these sticks to stir everything. I don't have any stuff. I've got a little tray to mix everything that I can really get down on the bottom. I've got some gloves as well, and that should be basically it. And it's going to be really itchy. That's why I've covered my I've got this carpet underneath here, and I covered it with this old sheet because I don't want all these little strings to end up in the carpet. Now the bike itself, I need to cover everything, so I'm going to fill up this area in the way that it's going to be shaped, and then I'm going to put the sheets over it, put the resin on it, and it's going to be covered everywhere over here. And then later on I'm going to cut away the way I would like it and just kind of shape it, and after that it's going to be covered with foam and stuff, leather, and then I'm going to add before that I'm going to add a few points so the seat doesn't move, and it actually hooks up to this locking mechanism which I've got over here. So this is the locking mechanism. I can reach that underneath, so that's super secret now. Nobody knows about it.
That's super secret!
If that fails for some reason or it doesn't really work, I've been using it and it's working pretty good. I can always use a latch on this thing and kind of get a key somewhere to undo the latch, but for now it's going to work. I've got these holes here, so the seat will drop into that and underneath here, but I'm going to do that after the shell is finished. So I hope that makes sense. It's just a really dirty job, so I need to really cover the entire bike, make sure that nothing gets where it's not supposed to be, and kind of fill up these areas so the resin doesn't fall down into the electronics, basically. So that's what we're going to do now.
A few inches later.
Alright, everything is all set up. I've used old packing stuff that came from boxes from things I've ordered, and I've kind of filled up the area I want to keep clear. And now this is going to be, everything underneath is going to stay open, of course. So now the goal is to start packing everything up with cling film and protect the bike all over, because it's going to be really nasty and messy and it's going to drip everywhere. But that's the next step, so let's do that. This thing on. I'll try to speak as loudly as I can, but of course this is not an ideal situation. Alright, so we need protection first. As you can see, I've completely covered the bike and I've covered myself as well, and the floor. So now I'm going to cut this sheet, and I've already kind of measured it. Should be able to do 3 layers of each. So I'm going to start out with the single biggest one. I kind of drew out an outline. Don't know how this is going to cut. It's pretty easy to cut, to be honest. It's been so warm these last days. Maybe I should do it like, I'm going to do one like that first. Okay, let's make the resin tear 0. Alright, let's do, I don't know, 300, 260 grams. So I need my phone. 2%, 3.
The calculator. The calculator.
5.3 grams. Okay. 72. Here we go. Now I need to mix. Alright, let's get this done. Here we go. Oh, my back is killing me. Alright, let's do the other one. Is that this, or is my left over? Doesn't really matter. Oh shit, it's hardening really fast. Holy shit. God damn it. That went a bit too quick. Shit, look at that. Well, to be honest, I don't know if it's worked, but we're gonna know in about 4 or 5 hours. That first batch really dried up very quickly. It just turned into a pink ball. I think I've got enough layers here, so I don't know, we'll see. If it didn't work out, then I'll try again. But for now, yeah, just wait for it to set. I hope I didn't get too much bubbles in there. I don't think I should mess with it too much. I'm just gonna make things worse, I think. Well, it's really warm. All right, let's just leave it. And I don't know. We'll see, I guess. See you in a couple of hours.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
Rock solid. Aha. There it is. Okay, so this is the shell that came off the build, and it's rock hard. It's still not completely set, I think. It's a bit sticky. Strength wise, feels pretty good. I already marked it before I started and came over on the inside, so I'm just going to cut out this piece. So what I just did was trace the outline even further of what I needed, and I'm gonna cut everything on the downside of this line, and then I think we've got a pretty good basis to continue work on. The cool part with this stuff, of course, if something goes wrong or you cut away too much, or there's a part that's not strong enough because something went wrong for some reason,
because you suck at it,
you can also add some more polyester to those bits and strengthen it that way. I left a little bit over of the stuff I had, so I am able to do that. But first, let's trim it down a bit more. And yeah, so far it's looking pretty good, I think. Pretty happy. Okay, it's the next day. I'll show you the seat pan that I've got so far. So this is what the seat pan looks like right now. I've added this little clip thingy with some glue on both sides. I hope that holds. We'll see. Drilled some holes to kind of put things in there like points, so it sits even more and it doesn't move. But this part of the shell is flexing out too much, and the entire thing, and I'll show you a picture of it right now, is too far away from the tank. The mistake I made was with the cling film, so it was too tight, and yeah, it basically kept the polyester strands from getting close to the tank. And yeah, and especially this thing that's widening out, I'm not really sure why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo this entire front end. So I'm going to put it on the bike. I've already protected everything, cut off this piece. I think from this angle over here straight over to there, and I will do some new pieces. I still got some strands left, the really strong ones, and yeah, and some the last bit of the polyester resin, and that's the plan. I hope it's gonna work. But yeah, this thing really strong, and I'm really happy I made those brackets to give it more strength or support basically. But yeah, this just came out too far, so my mistake is that the cling film was too tightly bound on, and well, take your advantage from that. Okay, I think I got the contour better now. We'll let this sit for I think an hour. It's going to be hard by then, and yeah, there's nothing more I can do. I've got no more resin, so that's it. Let's see how it comes out.
Then, an hour later,
Alright, I think the seat pan is done. It's ready for shipment. I'm just gonna add a few lines to highlight certain pieces that could be changed by whoever's gonna make the seat. And yeah, I think it came out pretty good actually. A lot better. You know what? It's really strong. I can actually really lean on this, and yeah, no worries there. And of course I've got my little secret, super secret switch to take it off, and this is what I came up with in the end. So yeah, somehow this is going to be a really cool seat. So that was the video on the seat pan for this bike. I hope it helped you and you kind of know what you need to do to get something like this, which looks really weird, but it's really strong, and it's gonna serve its purpose for sure. So again, this bike will be for sale in the end, and this one's for sale as well also. But yeah, the profits from that one are going to go to DGR 2026, but by now 2027. Yeah, if you're interested, hook me up via DM or whatever. If you want to donate and help with the build, buy me a coffee. You've seen the QR code between a few clips already. And that's all I got for this video. Gonna come back to this once this has been all covered up. But for now, thanks for watching. See you in the next video, and yeah, see you then. Bye.